This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Good evening, everyone. We are coming to you from the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma. About to talk to Coach Megan Knight as her girls' team is about to embark on their first-round state game against Booker T. Coach, what are a couple of the biggest challenges that Booker T brings tonight for your team?
Their speed. They're going to bring a lot of pressure, especially in that second half. So we got to make sure that we're valuing the basketball. They also have a really talented player that's going to be going to Baylor the next couple of years. So just staying down, being confident, valuing the basketball, and just playing our style of ball.
How much of a priority is it early in the game to get the ball inside to Deanna?
It's a huge priority. We're hoping that Deanna is able to get out and run and get some transition buckets for us tonight, utilizing that speed that she does have.
All right, Coach, good luck. Thank you very much. We hope to talk to you after the game.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, so we'll take another quick break here, and we'll talk more about this battle between Midwest City and Booker T as another first-round girls game coming up right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
All right, here we go again. Why not? Game 5 of the day on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Game 6 at the Lloyd Noble Center. It's Midwest City Lady Bombers, the Booker T Lady Hornets. Jordan, obviously, Midwest City's had a phenomenal season. Booker T, another program that will always provide high-level athletes and a team that's expecting to not just get here but make a run through this thing. What are some thoughts about this matchup as we get ready to tip this thing off here in a few minutes?
Well, it's going to come down to who can get the better inside scoring, I think. Obviously, the Bombers will look to do that with Deanna Douglas. And can they get the same type of scoring productivity from the outside from Sierra Martin and Marquia Pratt that they've been getting for much of the season? So that trio for Midwest City, if they're on top of their game and they're scoring, they're really hard to beat. It would help if they get a couple guards who can step up and hit threes, but not familiar with this Booker T team, but they do have size. You know they're going to have speed. They lost their area championship, but I'm sorry, they won. I should say I believe they actually won their area championship. That's what makes this an interesting matchup. Both teams won the area championship. Booker T finished second in their district. Midwest City won their district, going undefeated.
Starting line presented by Dynamic Health Clinic. At Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better, recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. First for the Midwest City Lady Bombers, who are going to be the road team here today at the LNC. Number 0, Sierra Martin. She's a 5'10 senior. Number 2, Salia Landon, a 5'7 senior. Number 3, Marquia Pratt. She is a 5'9 junior. Number 23, Sanaya Gaddis, a 5'7 senior. And number 45, Deanna Douglas, a 6'1 senior, a very veteran-laden team. The Bombers come into play tonight 23-3, and are coached by Megan Malloy Knight, who you heard from just a moment ago. As for the Booker T Washington Lady Hornets, Number 1 is Kylan Johnson Cooper. She's a 5'5 sophomore. Number 3, Tiara Owens is a 5'4 junior. Number 21, Markayla Johnson, a 6-foot junior. Number 24, Ryan Mayberry, a 5'7 junior. And then rounding out number 33, Bailey Braxton, a 6'3 junior. So 4 juniors and a sophomore in the starting 5 for Booker T. They come into play tonight, 19-8 on the year, and are coached by Rabu Leva. So just about ready to get this one going. We now know the winner of this one will see Sapulpa tomorrow, as Sapulpa knocked off Carl Albert in the game right before this on OSN. We had that game for you. We'll have one more after this with Del City and El Reno to follow on this floor at approximately 7:30-ish. Be later than that. Somewhere around that zone. That'll be our 6th game of the day. But we got one before then. Midwest City, like I said, the road team in the black uniforms with gold bombers across the chest, gold numbers. Booker T in the home whites with the orange Hornets, orange numbers on the chest and back. Booker T wins the tip. They're going left to right from our vantage point, courtside at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. Glad to be with us on a Thursday night in Norman. This audio-only presentation of the state tournament on the Oklahoma Sports Network. First possession for the Hornets is handled by Mayberry. She feeds it off to Braxton, who can't get it to go, but it got her own miss. Kick out, and Booker T will reset up some offense here. We saw the Booker T boys take care of business earlier. As the Hornets step out of bounds, they're going to get Johnson for stepping on the sideline. The Booker T boys took care of business earlier. They'll be in the semifinals tomorrow against Crossings Christian. And now the girls trying to follow suit here and punch their ticket to tomorrow and a date with Sapulpa.
Sanai Gaddis helped save a score for Midwest City by blocking Bailey Braxton from behind. Bailey Braxton didn't realize it until he got on the court, but she's got some size to her. It's going to be interesting to see how she matches up against Douglas.
We see Markia Pratt back in the starting 5 for Midwest City. When I did the Bombers a couple weeks ago in the regionals, she was playing very sparingly off the bench. Good to see her back in that starting 5, and she's got the ball here, gets underneath to Deanna Douglas. Tough finish at the rim, and a good start for Douglas and the Bombers. You heard Coach Knight talk about getting the ball down to Douglas.
Yep.
There you go, good start.
Well, good recognition from Pratt to see Douglas had a smaller player switched on her, and she took advantage of that.
So 2-0 lead for the Bombers here at the Lloyd Noble Center, Norman, Oklahoma, 5A state quarterfinal. Driving the lane here, scoop layup attempt won't quite roll home for Booker T's Tiara Owens. And the Bombers have it going back to the way, crossing half court. Oh, falling down here is Landon, and scooping this up for a fast break opportunity is Mayberry. She'll take it all the way to the rim and finish. Couldn't tell if Landon just
fell down.
Yeah.
Bad time, at least to a layup. That's just a horrible set of circumstances there. Oh, she looks to be okay, though.
So 2-2 now your score. Sierra Martin on the wing, feeds it off to the top here with Gaddis. To the elbow, Douglas lost it from one, kicks out to Landon for 3, rolls off, rebound though, Markia Pratt, putback won't go, but she's fouled. So a second chance opportunity for the Bombers. Pratt gets the board, and she'll go to the Toonie Bias House's charity stripe for the first time tonight.
You didn't see her, obviously, in the game against Carl Albert, but she was such a difference maker. She was healthy enough to start.
Yeah.
And made a huge impact for 3/4 of that game. That free throw rolls in. The second quarter, she didn't play much in that one, and Carl Albert caught up and tied Midwest City.
First one does go down with the friendly roll at the Toonie Bias House's charity stripe. Toonie Bias Houses. Second one misses. Deanna Douglas fighting for the ball, go out of bounds.
They're going to call a foul on her? Or calling out of bounds? It's going to be no city ball.
What is that signal? I don't
know what that is. That's a good question. I don't think it's a foul.
All right, well, they're saying it's Midwest City ball. I think they're saying that she palmed the ball, I think is what that was supposed to be. Booker T, that is. So Midwest City keeps it after that strange sequence. And Sierra Martin kicks out to Gaddis, who goes underneath to Deanna Douglas. Oh, what a catch. Kicks it over to Markia Pratt, jumping through defenders. Pratt to the rim.
Travel.
That's a travel. That's a great finish for travel. Want to finish Toonie Bias Houses. We buy homes any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call them today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. So Booker T gets it back, down 3-2 early, and pass. There was miscommunication there as Owens threw it underneath for Johnson, who just wasn't even looking, and it's a turnover. Sierra Martin has it, almost lost a dribble, able to get it over to Landon. Landon, crossover, feeds off to Gaddis, left side, Marquia Pratt. Pratt on the floor, she'll go all the way to the rim.
Nice.
Marquia Pratt, couldn't finish it. Rebound, though, Deanna Douglas. Put back attempt, no, but she's fouled. So Deanna Douglas is wreaking havoc in the first few minutes of this game.
And I think what we've seen is, in spite of the fact that Booker T has a player with size who can guard her in Braxton, first of all, she still has a tough time keeping Douglas off the boards because Douglas is so strong. But the other thing is they're going to send help. They're going to double team Douglas a lot too, so she needs to be ready and make sure she can find an open teammate.
First free throw for Douglas is good. Gives us a chance to tell you about our first quarter sponsor, which is Sherpa Moving. Sherpa Moving, a local full-service moving company, as Douglas hits the second. They offer packing, unpacking, special handling services. Their team is experienced and knowledgeable. Help you get through what is usually a difficult time. Sherpa Moving for all your moving needs, 401 West 33rd Street in Edmond. Call them at 405-724-8750. Booker T back to the direction. That layup attempt was just gobbled up as Owens went to the rim and Douglas just completely absorbed it.
Yeah.
Knocked out of bounds.
By the way, I misspoke earlier. I said Booker T won the area as well as Midwest City. They actually lost the regionals. Douglas will get called for a foul because of a defensive miscommunication by Midwest City on a baseline inbounds play. Booker T actually went 0 for 3 against Tahlequah, who had won the district, and on the fourth attempt, and it was an area consolation championship Saturday. That's when Booker T got to state. So they got to state the hard way, kind of like the Del City girls did.
Johnson misses the first one. Second one coming for Markayla Johnson. Second one on the way is good. Speaking of those Del City Eagles, we'll have them as our final game of the day next. They'll take on El Reno, who I mentioned it in the Carl Albert broadcast with us to that. The only undefeated girls team in Oklahoma high school basketball, those El Reno Lady Indians. So that'll be a fun test for Del City coming up in our final game of the day. To follow this one, Sierra Martin has on the elbow, spin move, shot, won't go up the side of the rim. Rebound is pulled in by Mayberry, and Booker T's got it going back to the way, down 5-3. Here's Johnson Cooper with the ball, feeds it off right side to Owens. Now an open look for Johnson for three, doesn't go. Rebound comes off and is pulled in by Gaddis. Start the break for the Bombers. Landon puts it on the floor. Long pass in the backcourt to Gaddis. I should say high, more than long. And Midwest City can reset some things. Here's Sierra Martin on the wing with some very shiny gold shoes, Sierra Martin.
Oh, yeah.
Those are, don't look right at them. You'll go blind a little bit. Martin feeds off left side to Gaddis. Pass
nice
underneath
pass.
Deanna Douglas, who wasn't totally ready for it.
Except she wasn't ready, yeah.
Now it's Luz Marquia Pratt trying to end up with the ball. And eventually they're going to call a tie-up here, as they were battling for that thing for a while. The Arrow's going to keep it down here with Midwest City.
So you can hear Coach Knight yell sideline 2. It's always great when we're by the Mid-Del coaches, which we will be for the next game as well with Coach White and Del City.
We were most of the time today. 4 of our 6 games will be down here. And tomorrow, no matter how you slice it, we'll be for that boys game. Carl Albert Midwest City in the boys semis. Meanwhile, Sierra Martin bullying her way to the rim and finishing. So a nice start for the Bombers. They lead at 7-3 here in the early going.
She's such a difference maker for this team when she decides to be aggressive. And she has been lately. It's been a big part of Midwest City's success. Actually, she has been for much of the season. It was a bit of an issue at the end of last season.
Right side, here's Kylan Johnson Cooper underneath
Nice
and had her
steal.
pocket pick. Johnson just had that ripped away. Fast break, Sanaya Gaddis all the way to the rim. Right-hand shot comes up short, and it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Gaddis. Not sure what happened there. It was kind of an awkward-looking play all around.
Once Gaddis got to the basket, she just wasn't comfortable with the shot. She attempted an air ball. This is where, you have a transition, and it's one-on-one. It's not an uncontested layup. Can you finish? Sierra Martin had a similar situation. It was one-on-one. It wasn't in transition, but she was able to finish. So it's just important that Midwest City is able to do that too. But a good steal, though, for Gaddis anyway.
A couple of subs for Booker T. Number 10, Kendall McClellan, a junior, into the game, as well as number 22, Aaron Gibson, a sophomore, into this ball game for the Hornets. This is Ryan Mayberry with the basketball right now for Booker T. Checking with her sideline, surveying the floor, figuring out how she wants to attack this Midwest City defense. Goes to her right, she'll pull it for a long 2. Lefty leaves it off to the side of the rim, and the Bombers have a fast break off it. Long pass hit to Douglas. Lost
she
the
jumped
handle.
off her flag.
Pratt goes diving after it.
She's going to get Coach Knight. You could hear her yelling a timeout, and somehow
They
she didn't
just
get it right away.
Looks like Landon's the one who snuck it in there.
She didn't get it right away, but there was no jump ball called. So if I was Booker T, I'd be like, why didn't you call a jump ball? You gave them plenty of time to call a timeout, but we do have a timeout, a 30-second one.
There's an eruption of screaming for timeout from the sideline right here to our right, but they did eventually get it. So Del City keeps the possession as Yana Douglas got a little bit of blood, looks like, coming out of her nose.
I don't know if I talked to you about it, but that was a problem for her wearing white uniforms. In the fourth quarter against Carl Albert, she had not one but 2 jersey changes, and it was because of a blood on her nose, and it looks like that might be an issue again. And well, you hate to take her out for that reason. If she's not in foul trouble and she's not too tired, it's a little bit of a limp on her part, but I think she's good.
The advantage of
she's not going to come out.
The advantage of being the road team, not having to wear white.
Coach Knight told me that yesterday. She was very happy that they were wearing black. The whole tournament, too. I don't know what that was, though.
Inbound pass deflected and stolen. Leads to a fast break for the Hornets. All over the rim. Martin blocked it. Fast break now for Midwest City after they erased that opportunity. Douglas all the way to the rim. Can't quite finish. Rebound is loose. Pulled in by the Hornets again. So some sloppy play for for Midwest City, at the rim.
Booker T player down.
Yeah,
4-on-4. Douglas is hobbling, and a Booker T player is down.
This is Kylan Johnson-Cooper, the sophomore guard for Booker T, who tried to get back up and get down the floor, but just a little slow getting up here.
Douglas still limping and then still getting checked with her nose by the trainer. They might need to give her a breather.
Yeah, Douglas is favoring kind of everywhere right now. Meanwhile, for Booker T, it's Kylan Johnson-Cooper down here. She's on her back now. She was kind of on her side before. It's like they're working on that right leg. Can't really tell exactly.
Hopefully it's just a cramp so she can come back in, too.
Yeah,
she'll have to come out because they're stopping play for her. Douglas does not have to come out for Midwest City, but it might not be a bad idea just to give her a short one, a short rest. First quarter, your team's ahead 7-3. And she's actually had a couple of transition opportunities as Douglas, and she hasn't converted. And one of them was she just didn't handle the ball well. The other, she missed a shot she should be making. So maybe she's got a lot going on with thinking about the blood stuff. Give her a break. Maybe she can settle down. Just a suggestion.
So Johnson-Cooper walked off on her own power. It was slow, but she walked off on her own power. Hopefully she can get back in this game for Booker T. Meanwhile, the Hornets have the ball down 7-3. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Here's McClellan driving the baseline, and she traveled.
She got by Martin, but was so deep under the basket, she wasn't sure what to do with the ball. And that hesitation cost her a travel there.
So Booker T offensively, it's been a struggle, obviously. Just one shot has gone down for them, only 3 points. As we get to the late part of this first quarter. Turnover here, almost. I spoke a little too soon. It's knocked in the backcourt, but Sierra Martin able to run down and save it.
Could have been an easy layup for Booker T.
That reminds me, that only Booker T bucket came on the turnover. When Landon fell down, led to the easy fast break. Guess it is a turnover this time, but they're able to poke it loose and get it right back as Douglas poked it away from behind. Now a long 2 here for Gaddis is good.
Wow,
all right.
Instead of being too far, she was too close to get the to get the 2. So I guess she had her foot on the line. Far away from us, so we can't tell.
It looked like a long 2 to me.
Yeah.
And so it'll stay at 9-3. Now we have a timeout here taken by Booker T.
It's a frantic
It
game.
has been unhinged first quarter. What is Booker T doing defensively so well in your mind? Because Midwest City doing defensively. Because Booker T, one shot in this game, and it came off the gimme turnover. I mean, other than that, in the half court, they have not had anything.
They're not getting anything in the paint. And that's partly because of Douglas, but I don't think there's a shooter for Booker T that the Bombers are that worried about. So the whole team has been able to protect the paint pretty well. And you can kind of tell by watching Booker T that, their best player, and I missed this a moment ago, is, I believe, Mayberry. And I haven't seen her been able to get to the basket too much.
So Booker T back at it with the ball. This is Johnson on the right wing, feeds it off into the corner. This is Johnson-Cooper back in the game, so that's good to see. 3 ball in the wing here won't go for Mayberry. The rebound comes out. Johnson Cooper saves it. Had her shot blocked. Booker T able to save it again. Have another opportunity. Here's Johnson. Pulls up from the free throw line. She's hit from behind and fouled.
I should have said Johnson. I think you could tell she's the aggressive player that Booker T will look to. And for Midwest City, this should not even be happening for them. But they didn't box out the shooter. I think that was Gaddis or Pratt who did not box out the shooter. So these are second chance free throws for Booker T.
Into the game for Booker T off the bench as the first free throw is no good for Johnson. Number 25, Kennedy Glenn, getting some run here. Just a freshman off the bench for the Hornets. Meanwhile, back in also comes Kendall McClellan. We saw her briefly a moment ago. She replaces Glenn.
We'll see when Midwest City goes to the bench. I'm expecting when Seven Miller comes in to see a lot of energy and production from her and a couple other players as well.
Tiara Owens back in for the Hornets as well, as Johnson hits the second free throw after missing the first one. So 9-4. Sierra Martin with the ball for Midwest City. Long pass deflected. Johnson read that all the way. Got the turnover for the Hornets. Rocket pass underneath for McClellan, but a bad pass trying to kick it out was tipped away by Douglas. Scooped up by Martin. Another turnover forced by Midwest City. Their defense is just wreaking havoc on Booker T offensively right now.
Johnson giving Sierra Martin her left. Sierra Martin does not want to take it right there.
Left side, here's Marquia Pratt going toward the rim. Takes some contact, no foul. Definitely a lot of contact in there. Didn't get the whistle. Leads to a fast break for the Hornets. Johnson on the way to the rim. She can't finish. Rebound McClellan. 10 seconds to play in the quarter. Here's Johnson Cooper for three. Side of the rim, no good. Rebound tipped around. Ends up with Sierra Martin playing volleyball with herself. Got 4 seconds to try and get a shot off here. Long pass head to Landon. This will count if it goes. And it won't. A little too much on it. High off the glass. And that'll end a very herky-jerky first quarter. After one, Midwest City leads it 9-4 on top of Booker T. Washington. You're watching the 5A Girls State quarterfinals on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Back at the Lloyd Noble Center, Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Girls 5A state quarterfinals on OSN. Midwest City, Booker T. Washington. Good start for the Bombers. They lead at 9-4 as we get back to it here in the second quarter. Hornets with the ball here, being hounded, nowhere to go. And that's going to be a travel as Tiara Owens just, everywhere she looked, there was a black jersey and nowhere to go and ended up traveling.
The guards for Midwest City not letting any of the Hornets get separation.
Here's Sierra Martin with it for Midwest City on the wing. Feeds it to the top. Gaddis. Bounce pass to Midwest City just into the game for the Bombers. Number 13, that's Seven Miller.
Another college three attempted. Yes, she did.
And that shot is missed. And Booker T's got it going back to the way in a 5-point deficit.
Boy, there's just bodies everywhere.
Yeah, my goodness. It's a physical game so far.
That was an air ball that Midwest City probably would have gotten, but Douglas tripped over a Booker T player on the ground. That's never going to be called a foul, so I'm not saying it should have been. But
well, if you're Coach Leyva for Booker T, you got to be frustrated that you haven't had a single half-court bucket so far, but you also got to be thinking, oh, down 5 without a half-court bucket. Your defense keeping you in it. As Johnson drives and can't finish. Rebound, though, pulled in by Braxton, but then when she went to kick it out in the corner, sailed it right into the Midwest City bench.
We're seeing a lot of unforced errors on Booker T.
Yeah.
Bombers have not really been able to take advantage of it yet. We're going to go 5 out here as we can see Douglas getting a break. So it's 5 guards basically in for Midwest City right now.
And Douglas in the game in the corner.
Oh, missed that.
She
The
snuck
ref
out
blocked
there.
me from her.
Spin move for Sierra Martin, and that shot goes right through the back.
They're letting them play.
I was going to say, this is a physical game, and this officiating crew, it's been a different crew, I think, literally every game today. I don't think any crew has done more than one. And this crew in particular for this game is just letting them go. There's not been a lot of whistles, which is fine. Our 5th game of the day, keeping things going. We're good with that, but that's why the score is low, because it is a slobber knocker game right now. As Booker T has the basketball, this is Kylan Johnson-Cooper. She'll go to the rim, right-hand shot, try to bank it, no. Braxton fighting for the board, couldn't get it. Ends up in the hands of Landon. So Booker T, there's a lid on the basket right now for the Hornets. Meanwhile, Landon the other way, tough shot, won't go. Rebound knocked out of bounds, and it will go back over to the Hornets again. So both these teams are just having the hardest time right now getting the ball in the cup.
Well, you got to slow down when that happens. I mean, you need to go quick to the basket, but when you get there, just focus the ball in through the backboard or however you're trying to finish. And, yeah, I mean, Celia Landon can finish with her left hand, but, she's right-handed, so that's not going to be the easiest shot for her.
Here's Johnson, turnaround shot. That'll go. So a half-court offense bucket for the first time today for Booker T as Markayla Johnson hit the turnaround shot. And the Hornets are down just one possession at 9-6. Pratt set to check back in. Meanwhile, a bad pass intercepted and stolen by Mayberry. Start the break for the Hornets all the way down the floor. 7. Miller came over and wiped her out. It'll send Mayberry to the line with 5:46 to play in this first half.
Let's see Pratt come back in. Maybe she can get Midwest City going. But right now, they're getting nothing comfortable on offense, and Booker T has been able to get a good shot and get to the foul line.
First free throw is good, makes it 9-7. Sierra Martin will also come out of the game. Didn't see who subbed in for her, I think.
Briz Pratt.
Gotcha. Okay, so Pratt's back in the game in place of Martin. I thought she had already snuck in that previous stoppage. So both free throws are good. It's a 1-point game, 9-8. Gaddis thought about the really deep three. Instead, she'll give it up. Bounce it off of Douglas's legs, who went diving after it to save it and actually ended up doing just that. Bombers get a second look on it. Long 2 for Gaddis. Won't go at the side of the rim. Rebound 7. Miller buys the Bombers a second chance. Pull-up jumper for Landon won't go for the rim.
Fouled by Johnson.
Foul on the shot. Johnson closed that a little too tough.
After the shot, really. Bombers needed that. They're struggling a bit.
So she'll go to the free throw line, which lets us thank our second quarter sponsor, which is Buffalo Wild Wings. 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Come to Buffalo Wild Wings. Support your favorite Mid-Del winter sports team. Download the team card on your phone. Show your waiter, and your team will get 10% of the proceeds. First free throw is good for Landon. Makes a 2-point lead once again for for Midwest City.
Coach not giving some instructions to Deanna Douglas. You're not going to see her along the lane. If there's a miss, doesn't matter because there's not a miss.
Second one is good, makes it 11-8 Bombers. 5:18 to play in the first half. Winner here will see the Sapulpa Chieftains tomorrow in the semifinals. It's a 7:30 tip here at the LNC. As Johnson goes right to the rim, draws the contact and the foul. And you're starting to see Markayla Johnson settle into this game a little bit. Last few possessions, she's looked a little more in control. She can tie the game at the line.
Yeah, I mean, Pratt went over the screen that gave her the driving lane. You might think about going under the screen, and if she shoots and makes it, she makes it. But that's another foul on Douglas. That's 2 on her.
Johnson makes the free throw, and we are tied up 11 apiece. So despite the long dry spell to start this game offensively for the Hornets, they're in a tie game right now with 5 minutes to play until halftime. Landon to the rim. Couldn't get the shot to go, and then Douglas was able to corral the miss. And she gets slung to the ground, and that's going to be a foul on the Hornets. It'll go on Kennedy Glenn. Just a second foul on Booker T. Bombers also have 2. Foul on the floor, so no foul shots. Inbound here to Douglas, and turnaround shot is banked home. That was well done by Deanna Douglas. Not an easy shot by any means, and it puts the Bombers back ahead by 2.
Gaddis threw a good post-entry pass to her.
Here's a 3 at the top of the key. Clackams Dropping it down, Tiara Owens. And the Hornets are in the lead, 14-13. A Bobby Lewis Insurance 3-ball. Haven't had any of those yet in this game until there.
It's the first one.
Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations served you in Choctaw and Dale City. Bobby Lewis Insurance, a great sponsor of Mid-Del Sports. Not sure what the call was here. Was there a foul on the floor?
Foul on the floor against Booker T. Only a 13th foul on the Hornets.
Inbound goes to Douglas on the block. Her shot won't go through some contact, and Miller came in a little out of control and commits the foul on Owens. That'll be the 3rd foul on Midwest City. So both teams with 3 fouls with 4.5 to go in the half.
Well, Booker T starting to score, too. It's critical juncture here for Midwest City.
You can see the Hornets starting to settle in a little bit, especially on the offensive end after it was a slog in that first quarter. But they're getting it going quite. Only 4 points the first quarter, 10 in the first, not even 4 minutes of the second quarter. Here's Owens with the basketball, hit that 3 a moment ago for Booker T. Some direction here for Kylan Johnson-Cooper. She'll take it all the way to the rim and finish. Kylan Johnson-Cooper, the sophomore, just bullying her way to the rack and finishing.
She was hurt a moment ago, so she's obviously back.
Douglas has got the ball, kicks it over to Landon. To the top, open look at a 3-ball for the Bombers. Clackums. That's C.D. Johnson into the game and making an immediate impact. Bobby Lewis 3-ball.
What a well-timed sub.
I know, just came right in the game and knocks down a triple that Midwest City needed. And we're tied up 16-all. Johnson on the wing here. She'll drive. And leaves it short, but she draws the foul on Pratt. You can tell Markayla Johnson is a confident player. She can really handle the ball.
Pratt's just got to stay vertical, but she swung down. You don't want to be sending Johnson to the free throw line if you can avoid it.
3:32 to play in the half, and Johnson goes shoot 2. That was the 4th foul on Midwest City, so they'll have free throws the rest of the way in this first half as Johnson hits the first one. Back in the game for Booker T comes Kendall McClellan. She'll replace Mayberry. Second one on the way for Markayla Johnson, and she's got it. So it's 18-16 Booker T Washington. Some contact here, gets ahead to Salia Landon crossing half court. Landon, nice move all the way to the rim and finish. Nice little hesitation, kind of got a little bit of separation, and then she wouldn't finish it. That was well done.
Laid it up softly, good crossover there on Braxton.
Landon, a fun player to watch as this 3-ball doesn't go for Johnson, and the Bombers have it back. They can retake the lead. Here's Markia Pratt putting on the floor. She'll pull up mid-range jumper. Can't quite go up the front of the rim. Douglas, rebound, stick back, no. Got her own miss, put back attempt, no, but she's fouled. So down to Douglas.
You could tell there's some people nearby screaming for a foul. And the first one could have been, the second one definitely was.
As Douglas is starting to pile up the rebounds a little bit here. I think that was 5, 5, and 6. Yep, that's 5 and 6. So she's got 6 and 6 in this first half, and she can add to her point total right here at the line, and she does. First one good.
Braxton also with 2 fouls for Booker T. They want to keep her in. They want her bodying up Douglas. So big development could be which one of those players gets the 3 fouls first.
Second one on the way is up and good for Douglas. So Midwest City's back ahead by a deuce, 20-18. Another fun one. We've had nothing but competitive games today on OSN. It's been an awesome day at the state tournament, the 5A here at the LNC, and more the same in this one. As back and forth we go, Midwest City and Booker T. Washington.
3-2 zone for Midwest City. See if Booker T looks to use Johnson in the high post. You have to try to do 2 right there.
Johnson-Cooper on the wing. Started by Johnson. Feeds over right side to Tiara Owens. Booker T being pretty deliberate on this possession. Now Markayla Johnson with the ball. Finds it in the corner to Mayberry for 3. Side of the rim, no good. Rebound on the floor. Picked up by Landon. Long pass ahead to Pratt. Ill advised, but it will just be knocked out of bounds and stay with the Bombers. Johnson-Cooper came flying in and broke that up like a strong safety in football. Just came in with bad intentions, it felt like.
Batted it down, too. If she tried to catch it, she probably would have been out of bounds, but Oh, we've seen that a couple
now,
times.
Gaddis, I don't know what happened. Mayberry just picked her pocket, leads to an easy transition bucket. It looked like Gaddis maybe wasn't ready for the pressure. I'm not sure what happened there. That was an easy steal and fast break bucket. And it ties it up at 20. Now another bad pass deflected by Johnson. It's loose. Ends up with Pratt. She'll go to the rim and knocked out of bounds. It'll stay at this end with the Bombers.
Some frustration right now with some of the Midwest City
very
players.
irritated.
Yeah.
She'll sub out in favor of Sierra Martin. She'll come to the bench for a moment.
Just not a source mostly on offense. I mean,
Yeah.
that's twice because once happened earlier in the game because they weren't taking care of the ball well. We see a steal and score for Booker T, and then, boy, Pratt way off from that three.
Badly missed three by Pratt. They'll go back over to Booker T with 1:40 to go. Cool to see the Booker T boys team hanging out over there watching girls team after, like we said, they won earlier today. They'll be in the semifinals tomorrow against Edison Prep.
Man, Booker T had a stretch where they're doing well on offense, but now they have an unforced turnover.
Yeah.
I don't know if Midwest City's frustrated, but that fouls aren't being called or something else. Probably something else in the combination of it.
Douglas at the free throw line. Jumper won't go off the back iron. Rebound is loose and knocked out of bounds by Markayla Johnson, and it'll stay at this end with the Bombers. 1:13 on the first half clock. Martin gets it into Pratt. Pratt left side to Johnson. Swings it over to Sierra Martin, who had it knocked out of bounds. Stay at this end.
Johnson, that was almost a turnover in Midwest City because Johnson's pass to Martin was just too low. It was a bounce pass, but not a good one. And it's those type of things, even though it's not a turnover, that have been plaguing Midwest City a lot this quarter.
Inbound pass is almost stolen, and it is. As it's knocked out of bounds off the leg of Landon. So every little thing kind of hard right now for Midwest City offensively. Booker T is just kind of flying around, making it tough.
Yeah, you just can't let yourself be lethargic, and you have to be aware that there could be a defender behind you. You have to make your passes quick and decisive.
Final minute of the first half here at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. Tie ball game, 20 apiece. Booker T, Washington, Midwest City. Tierra Owens with the ball, hands it off to Mayberry. Hornets could maybe hope for the final shot, and as I say that,
Why do that? Markia Pratt commits a bad foul there.
It's going to be free throws.
They don't need to do that. Just, again, an out-of-sorts team at the moment. I was going to say a moment ago, we'll see if it might still stay that way, but it was 20-20 at halftime for Midwest City against Carl Albert, and it did a lot better in the second half.
So into the game now for Midwest City. Pratt will come out as that was her third foul. Not great. Replaced by Chloe Knox getting her first run in this game, the 5'6" junior.
I forgot about that. That makes the foul even worse.
Yeah. It was bad before. Now it's really bad. First free throw missed. Second one does go down. So Booker T leads it by 1, 21-20. As the Bombers bring it down the floor, trying to get the lead back before the end of the half. Here is Knox on the wing. Feeds to the top with Landon. Landon left side gives it back to Knox. Rocket pass across to C.D. Johnson. She'll fire an open three. Back iron, no. Rebound is high. And on the ground picked up by Johnson Cooper. But a bad pass ahead the court trying to get it up real quick. And C.D. Johnson intercepted it. And the Bombers have time to set something up. Sierra Martin fires a deep three. Way too much. Douglas able to save it, though. Kick back out. C.D. Johnson looking at three. Clock comes. C.D. Johnson with two huge threes in this first half. And Midwest City somehow is going to take a 2-point lead into the locker room at the end of two quarters. All right, we'll go ahead and step aside for the half. Midwest City leads at 23-21. We'll rejoin you shortly. We'll get you stats and get you all ready for the second half here from Lloyd Noble Center. Midwest City leads it by 2 at the break on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
All right, back here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Second half action getting with you. Booker T. Washington, Midwest City on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Bombers start with the basketball as we get back to action. Midwest City, high score so far in that first half. Deanna Douglas with 8 points. C.D. Johnson behind her with those two huge threes. Have 6 for Booker T. Washington. Markayla Johnson, the high score with 9. And Ryan Mayberry behind her with 7 as we get back to it. And a quick bucket for Sierra Martin for the Bombers extends their lead out to 4, 25-21.
The one thing we haven't seen is offside rebounding for Midwest City, but Sierra Martin was at 6 foot tall, someone who can very much help out with that.
Three ball for Owens doesn't go.
I was going to say, if Douglas gets a lot of attention, that will be something she can do.
Martin kicks out in the corner to Johnson. Left side to Gaddis. Gaddis bounce pass to Landon on the left wing. Thought about it. Instead, she'll put on the floor. Bounce pass to Johnson again. Good ball movement leads to Martin in the paint. Martin's shot won't go, but she's hit and fouled. That was good ball movement. Ball was zipping around. Wasn't touching the floor a lot.
Third foul on Braxton.
And so some free throws coming here for Martin. Like you said, third on Braxton, which is certainly noteworthy. Make sure we get our third quarter sponsor in while Martin heads to the line. Casa Juanito, a quick service restaurant offering fresh and flavorful fiesta meals in Del City since 1976. Located at 4718 Southeast 29th Street in Del City. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Sierra Martin misses the first one. We thank you so much for tuning in to this audio-only presentation of the 5A state tournament on the Oklahoma Sports Network. As Martin hits the second one. It's a 5-point lead for the Bombers. This game's been very competitive throughout, but Midwest City a little bit of breathing room now by 5. As Markayla Johnson's shot won't go, but Johnson Cooper gets the rebound, buys the Hornets a second opportunity here. Markayla Johnson pump faked it once, feeds it over to Johnson Cooper. She'll fire again. This time she hits. Clackums. A 3-ball for Kylan Johnson Cooper.
Because you didn't get a rebound.
Yep. And it's a one-score game again at 26-24. C.D. Johnson left side to Landon. Landon bounce pass to Gaddis. Gives it right back to Landon on the right side. So Leah Landon underneath for Douglas. And she loses the ball out of bounds. And they're going to say last touch by Midwest City. And that's been the theme. This officiating crew in this game has let it be physical down low. And that's what happened there. Douglas got hit and just lost it, but no call. But that's been consistent with how it's been all game. Johnson Cooper the other way, has her shot absolutely thrown away by Deanna Douglas. Leads to a fast break for the Bombers. Martin in the corner, and Midwest City will slow it up. Good job by Booker T getting back to kill the fast break. And Midwest City will set up some offense. Here's Gaddis. Figuring out where she wants to go while the Midwest City coaches shout some direction to Douglas. Driving here is Landon. Kick out in the corner, C.D. Johnson hit 2 already. Oh boy, halfway down on the third, but it rims out. And it'll go out of bounds, last touch by the Bombers.
Yeah, I mean, she's the one, Johnson, who's replacing Markia Pratt. Normally you expect Seven Miller to do that, but I think because Johnson made those 2 threes, she's the one who's replacing Pratt, who's in foul trouble for Midwest City.
Each team only with 2 threes each at this point with 5:15 to go in the third. In a pretty low-scoring game, which tied directly into how physical it's been. The officials let it be physical. And as I say that, there's going to be a foul called on Martin as Markayla Johnson went at her, and Martin got her on the arm. And that's going to send Markayla Johnson to the free throw line to shoot 2 with 5:06 to go in the third.
Martin should just be vertical there. Hold her arms straight up. She tried to force a jump ball there, and I don't think she needed to do that, and that's going to lead to points for Booker T.
First one good, second one on the way for Markayla Johnson. She's got it. So we're tied up, 26-all, 5:05 to go in the third quarter on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Midwest City and Booker T. Washington, our 5th game of the day on OSN, 6th game on this floor. And we're not done. We got one more to follow as we have a whistle and a foul here going to go on the Hornets. Just harassing C.D. Johnson there.
If I'm Deanna Douglas, she's going to have a hard time against Braxton just forcing up a tough shot or a shot in the paint. Try some finesse moves next time you have the ball in the post.
Martin gives up right side to Gaddis. Gaddis gives it back to her. Martin here on the block, goes right to the rim. Tough finish. There it goes. Sierra Martin with some nice movement without the ball. Got herself in good position and puts it home to put the Bombers in the lead. But quickly the other way, Markayla Johnson racing down. Layup wouldn't go. Johnson Cooper putback wouldn't go. Leads to a fast break for the Bombers. Landon a long 2. Back iron no. Rebound is loose and ran down by Gaddis. Second chance for the Bombers. Landon kicks out. C.D. Johnson lines up the 3. Not going to go up the front of the rim. Well, that was a good, clean look, but just couldn't get it to go.
Boy, Douglas is struggling.
Back down the court here. Shot won't fall for Owens. Rebound Johnson Cooper put back no. So Booker T's missing a lot of shots at the rim here. Meanwhile, Deanna Douglas in the front court was just down here. I think
she was down the entire time. That's a very
took some. Yeah, I'm not sure. She's in some pain.
So Midwest City gets 2 points by playing 4-on-5 defense. Getting the rebound. They didn't get the first rebound. She's hurt.
So Douglas has got blood coming from her mouth, and it's in her nose and mouth. I don't even know the words. She's down here in agony. They get the turnover. But all the credit in the world because she's down there in pain. They throw her the ball into the front court, and she just puts the pain aside for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It lays in and comes right back over. I mean, that is seriously impressive.
She hasn't moved well all game. How she's not getting blood on her jersey or on the floor? Well, I guess there may be a little bit of blood on the floor now that we're taking a look at it. They're sending only they're scrubbing without a glove, so that would make me think it's sweat.
She's been
by where she scored the basket.
Middle City coach trying not to look. I guess it's maybe squeamish enough. A lot of people don't want to look at it. All right, I'm going to not look at it then as well because it's actually in our camera shot. This is Deanna Douglas right here.
Oh, yep. No action, though. We're not doing anything wrong. But if Midwest City was to somehow win this game, they got a lot of work to do. I mean, they're ahead, but this has been a really tough game for them. They might need to, in the next 24 hours, get a mask for Deanna.
Yeah.
Something to cover her nose, and the only way to really do that is to cover her,
I can't tell
her
if it
entire
was
face as well.
I mean, it was definitely nosebleed earlier, but I can't tell if now. I think it might be teeth. I think it might be something in the teeth family.
So mouth then.
Yeah,
mouth. Yeah.
So we'll keep that in mind as Douglas still just straight up Warrior stuff to get that layup. Got him up by 4. Meanwhile, though, a great pass by Mayberry to the cutting Johnson lays in and get Booker T back within 2. Here's Sierra Martin the other direction for the Bombers. Over to Landon to the top, Gaddis. 2-point lead for Midwest City in this just physical slugfest game. Gaddis on the elbow will hand it off to Johnson. Johnson back to Gaddis in the corner. Gives up to Landon on the block. Landon, nice up and under move.
Nice
Got
move.
it. What a shot by Salia Landon. Pretty.
She figures she can also take some of her size to the basket, and she did.
Final 3 minutes of the third. Markayla Johnson in the corner to Owens. Owens working on Gaddis. Turnaround shot with the right hand won't go. Rebound Gaddis. Pass head to Sierra Martin into the front court. Start the fast break for the Bombers all the way to the rim. Martin couldn't get it to go. Good job hustling back by a couple of Hornets to make that tough. And now they have a fast break opportunity, but Going to be mishandled. It's a bad pass there. Braxton couldn't quite handle it.
And here comes
Deanna Douglas.
Question, can she run? I mean, it's not a leg or foot issue, but she just hasn't been running well this game.
I mean, she was in complete agony like 2 minutes ago, and she is just gutting this thing out right now. Douglas, a senior, not ready for it to be over after tonight. Back to the way, shot for Landon won't go. Rebound comes off. It is pulled in by the Hornets. It's a fast break for Johnson Cooper. Pump faked it once. Couldn't finish the layup, though. Rebound pulled in by the Hornets. Second chance opportunity as Glenn pulled down the board. Here's Markayla Johnson, an open look at a three, won't go. Rebound, though, Johnson Cooper again. Now she's stripped. It's loose. And out of bounds, last touch by Douglas.
Yeah, I mean, if Douglas is a little healthier, doesn't have this issue, maybe she would have gotten that ball, but Bombers can't get a defensive rebound right now or any type of possession there. They have to hope maybe Booker T makes a mistake.
Well, Booker T's having lots of decent looks and just not really hitting right now.
Talking to Sadie Johnson, that's what they call her. We call her CD, number 20 for Midwest City. Who's hit a couple threes again, so that's why she's in.
Booker T with the ball, down by 4, 2-minute mark of the third quarter. And a bump and a foul as Landon leaning on Owens. It's only the second foul at Midwest City. Like we said, beating a dead horse, but worth reiterating, this officiating crew has just not called a lot of fouls in this game.
That's still an avoidable foul. It should have been Gaddis who went with the ball handler there. Probably would have prevented a foul.
So the foul on the floor. Booker T keeps the possession, down by 4. Here's Mayberry with the basketball. Left-hand pass over to Markayla Johnson. Johnson on the wing will drive on Gaddis. Spin around shot for Johnson. Oh boy, that was pretty. Markayla Johnson turnaround shot is good. Hornets are within 2 yet again at 32-20. 1:38 to go in the third. Gaddis has the basketball. Hands off to Johnson. C.D. Johnson back to Gaddis. Gaddis working on Mayberry at the elbow. Turnaround shot. Good. Boy, what a tough shot by Gaddis. 34-30.
She made the shot and looked frustrated afterwards.
This is a 3, I think, for Owens, and it's good. Step back 3 for Tiara Owens. It's a 1-point game, 34-33 with a $1:15 to go in the third. We got a timeout taken here, I think by Booker T, I believe. Only a 30-seconder with a 1:15 to go. Remind you, we still have one more game today. Jordan and I are going to summon everything we have left for Del City and El Reno on the girls' side. That'll be the final game of the day on OSN. There'll be actually one more game on this floor after that with Will Rogers and Coeta. To wrap up the day, we'll be back tomorrow, 1:30 on the boys' side in the semifinals with Midwest City, the boys, against Carl Albert. Very excited to bring that one to them. We'll turn around on Saturday at 2 and have the 5A state championship game on the boys' side. Girls' side, as of now, we're not guaranteed anything after tonight. We still need a Mid-Del win. But if Midwest City wins, we'll be back with the Lady Bombers tomorrow at 7:30 as they try to take on Sapulpa. But got to find a way to get through this next 9 minutes first before we can talk about that. As Sierra Martin brings it down the floor, final minute of the third. Landon will drive, long pass ahead to C.D. Johnson, open look at a 3, airballed it long. Pulled in by Markayla Johnson, but Douglas poked it away, and it's picked up by Sierra Martin. Turnaround shot is good. That was created by Deanna Douglas, getting on the floor, busted nose, mouth, teeth, and all, and making that happen.
I'll take your word for it because I missed the whole thing. I couldn't see it.
Shot here is good for Braxton off a great feed from Owens. And back down to a 1-point game again, 36-35.
Bombers looking a little tired on dribbling, on dribble penetration defense.
And now poked away. Johnson Cooper steals the pass from C.D. Johnson all the way to the rim, but she missed the layup. Oh, boy, right at the rim, and she just left it short. Leads to a fast break for the Bombers. Turn on shot for Landon won't go. Rebound loose, knocked out of bounds, and goes back to Booker T with 5.6 seconds to go. Boy, how did Johnson Cooper, that was a great play defensively, but then just missing the layup right at the rim, just left it short.
Landon was just out of control there. No real chance at that. And Bombers need to push up, or Johnson's going to get a good shot. I'm not sure why they're letting Johnson roll the ball up untouched. She's going to get a good shot now.
Final seconds of the quarter, Johnson to the rim, and she finishes it past Sierra Martin.
Sierra Martin really blew it there by not putting more pressure on her.
So Johnson goes down the floor, and in only 5 seconds, the Hornets get down and get a shot and get the lead. We played 3. Booker T 37, Midwest City 36. Fourth quarter on the way next in the 5A quarterfinals on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
To your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
All right, back to the Lloyd Noble Center. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, courtside here in Norman. As we're set up for another great finish. That's what it's been all day here in the 5A state tournament. We're set up for another one as Booker T. Washington leads Midwest City 37-36 as we get back to it here in the fourth quarter at the Lloyd Noble Center. The Hornets have the basketball first. Markayla Johnson hit that shot to put them in the lead right at the end of the third. Johnson Cooper with the ball now. Left side gives it back to Markayla Johnson. Left side to Mayberry. Top of the key to Johnson. This is actually Tara Owens, with the ball. Gives up left side, Mayberry with it once more. Booker T. Washington very deliberate on this possession, trying to make sure they get a good look. Long pass over to Mayberry. She'll fire a three. Ooh, boy, that was halfway down. Markayla Johnson, the rebound. Put back attempt won't go, but she's fouled. But Markayla Johnson, you know, the first quarter, she was pretty limited in her impact, but pretty much ever since then, she has just been making it all happen for Booker T.
Yeah, and the rebounding has been an issue for Midwest City. You go zone, which makes sense, but what's going to happen when they bring a player crash to the basket? And that's another foul on Deanna Douglas that could come back to haunt the Bombers.
That's her third, I think. Meanwhile, Johnson missed the first free throw. She has 17 points tonight. She's been tremendous. In a low-scoring game, 17. And make it 18. That's the 2-point lead. So Midwest City brings it up. Gaddis crosses half court, being guarded by Owens. Screen set by Sierra Martin. Gaddis wanted the three, instead she'll give it up. Pratt now around to Landon. Screen set by Douglas. Landon thought about it, says she goes to Martin. Martin right side to Pratt once more. Markia Pratt will drive down the lane through some contact, throws up a wild shot, but she does draw the contact and the foul. And Markia Pratt will get some free throws here with 6:52 to play at the Lloyd Noble Center.
That was wild, but there's just enough contact, and that type of foul has not been called much.
Fourth quarter sponsor is Rose State College. Saving money on college is easy at Rose State. First free throw no good for Pratt. Current enrollment allows students to earn up to 27 tuition-free hours of college credit while still in high school. Apply today at rose.edu/concurrent. Missed them both, so a painful empty trip at the line there for the Bombers. Keeps them behind by 2, 38-36. Right side driving the baseline. Ball's deflected as Owens' pass looking for Johnson was tipped away. Landon feeds it over to Gaddis, but the pass too tall and ends up with a turnover. Long pass now into the backcourt with Owens, and she'll lay it in. So Tara Owens, who was slow getting back, ends up paying off, and Booker T leads it by 4, 40-36. Now she picks it off again. Great anticipation, jumping in front of Markia Pratt. Turnover, fast break, bucket. And the Hornets lead by 6. This is their biggest lead of the night. Markia Pratt pulls up wide open mid-range jumper, gets the friendly bounce. And Coach Megan Knight wants a quick 30-second timeout. That's a big shot. Got a friendly bounce, but that's a big shot. Midwest City needed something good to try and, quell some of this momentum that Booker T had built up.
For various reasons, Midwest City looks like a really tired team compared to Booker T. It's not even close. I don't know how much of it's conditioning. I mean, Midwest City's kind of short in their bench. We're only seeing 5 or 6 players who play this half. I know Deanna Douglas is a little banged up. I know Marquia Pratt wasn't 100% heading into the playoffs. But, I mean, they're lethargic in their passes. And those type of steal-and scores used to be what Midwest City would do. We haven't really seen a whole lot of that in the playoffs, but it's Booker T that's now just playing the passing lanes, getting steals, and getting made shots out of it. And the Bombers just look like they're imploding. Till that last basket by Pratt.
Yeah, definitely a major storyline going into tomorrow if Midwest City gets there is that. They've looked wiped a lot of this second half. If they find a way to get to tomorrow, well, how do you get the energy back up? But right now, you got a tall task to get through this.
Of course, the Pulpit's got a couple players banged up.
Yeah, that's also true.
But.
And now whistling a foul here as Johnson is bumped. Is that on Douglas? If it is, it's her 4th.
It can't be, is it? No. It's on Marquia Pratt.
Okay.
Which is not good either.
I didn't really see what happened. So
she's
got
foul
4. On Pratt. Yeah, that's her 4th. Yeah. And the second team foul in Midwest City.
She's calling her on the reach-in.
So the fouls haven't been an issue in any quarter, as nobody's hit the bonus in this game, but the personal fouls now on Pratt and Douglas, a major storyline as we move into the late part of this game. Here's Owens driving on Douglas. Pull-up jumper comes up short. Rebound, fought for by Johnson, but they're going to say that she got bumped in the back. It's going to be another foul in Midwest City.
Again, not getting the rebound. You force a miss. You got to be in position. You can't be too far in the basket. And again, it's team rebounding. And the Bombers have not done a good job of that this half.
So that one's on Martin. That's her 2nd, team 3rd. Meanwhile, a bad pass by Johnson. Cooper's poked away, and Pratt ends up with it. Fast break for the Bombers. Marquia Pratt all the way to the rim. Layup left short. Landon got the rebound. Now ends up with Pratt. Tough shot won't go, but she's fouled. Wow. So some huge offensive rebounding there for the Bombers. It's going to result in some big free throws.
Well, what we've seen is the Midwest City gets a steal. They're going one-on-one against the player, and all they want is a foul. They just want to try to draw contact instead of focusing on making the shot. And Pratt did end up getting the foul. It was off an offensive rebound.
First free throw for Pratt is good. Makes it a 3-point game, 42-39. Second one on the way for Pratt is up and good. So 2-point game, 42-40, 5:14 to go here at the Lloyd Noble Center.
We got an assistant coach for Midwest City insisting there should be 41 points. That's the top of assistant coach Allison McFeeters. They may have to compare scorebooks. I've had it at 40. So
we've had it locked up with what the scoreboard in the arena reads, which is synced up to ours.
I don't remember there being a discrepancy.
Oh, now they did give him an extra point. So it's 42-40. Oh, no, now they took it off. I'm sorry. They was up there for.
What are they doing? You don't just listen to the coaches. You got to wait until a timeout. You can talk about it.
I think the score operator got talked into it, but then the official scorer overruled her and said, no. It is 40.
And Booker T's going to call a timeout, so now they can compare scorebooks. I don't know where the discrepancy would be, but obviously, as Booker T with a full timeout, this is a big discussion here, but we'll take a quick break.
Huge, yeah. Full timeout, we'll take it too. 4:46 to go, 2-point lead for the Hornets.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
so the score is 42-40. They didn't change anything there on that dead ball, so that's what we'll operate under. 42-40, 4:40 to go here at the LNC. Booker T. Washington leading Midwest City. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray on the Oklahoma Sports Network. A second ticket to the girls 5A semifinals up for grabs. Who wants it between the Hornets and the Bombers? Only one can go. Who will it be? Markayla Johnson down the lane. Right-hand shot won't go up the side of the rim. Rebound pulled in by Gaddis. Long pass head to Pratt. Too long. As she lost the handle on it and scooped up by Mayberry. So a turnover. And this ball's knocked out of bounds as Gaddis poked it away from Johnson Cooper.
Gaddis thought she knocked it off Johnson Cooper, but ref says otherwise. The key for Midwest City is you cannot let your frustration keep you from putting in the effort you need and the focus.
And that's certainly been there. So we've seen Midwest City be pretty irritated for big stretches in this game. But you're still in it. Midway point of the quarter, you're down one bucket. As they fought through adversity in this game, trying to get over that hump, get the big win. Right to the rim. A little pump fake and drive, and Owens lays it home. And the Hornets lead by 4.
Yep, it's not the defensive rotation you need.
Left side, Markia Pratt, the top of the key. Puts on the floor, she'll drive to the rim. Contact, and it's knocked out of bounds by Braxton. No call. But again, that's consistent with how this game's been. It's been a physical game. There has not been a ton of whistles. You got to get hit pretty good to get the call in this game.
Pratt's just got to focus on scoring again. Get to a spot where you can score or kick the ball out.
Douglas on the elbow. She'll take it right at Braxton. And this time she is hit and fouled. And so Douglas will go to the line.
Is that on Braxton?
I think so.
It is. That's
it is on Braxton.
4.
That's 4 on Bailey Braxton.
She plays almost the entire game. That's again, who they want guarding Douglas, so that could be a big call.
Bailey Braxton listed at 6'3". Her height is a huge advantage on the glass.
Clearly taller than Douglas, too. Doesn't move with the same fluidity, but as problem for Douglas, of course, is missing that free throw.
And to be clear, when I talk about the physicality of the game, I'm not complaining with the officiating in this game. I think it's been largely very consistent. I mean, it's just been the way the game has been. It's been a slobber knocker game. Doesn't bother me. As long as it's consistent throughout the game, it doesn't bother me. Douglas misses them both. Rebound is loose, and Douglas does a good job to get with Mayberry and tie that up. And the arrow keeps it with Midwest City. So this is just a flat-out stolen possession by Douglas after missing 2 free throws.
Yeah, but somehow, Bombers have to be able to make their free throws. They missed 4 this quarter.
Yeah, Midwest City has shot the free throws well overall in this game, 10 of 16, but some timely misses here in the fourth as a shot won't go for Douglas right off the inbound. Leads to a fast break for the Hornets, and we're going to have a whistle.
Foul Martin.
Yeah, bumping Johnson coming down the floor. And that should put Johnson at the line, unless they got that up real quick. And in fact, that's exactly what they did. So that's 4 fouls.
It's on the floor.
City. I thought it might have been the 5th. They update the team fouls so quick in the arena. I look over, and they have already updated it. Johnson, right off the inbound, puts it in. That was well done by Markayla Johnson, who's just been fantastic in this game.
Yeah, and Midwest City's just made so many defensive mistakes that have led to easy baskets. Booker T doesn't make defensive mistakes.
Final 3 minutes at the LNC. The Bombers have a push in them. Step back jumper for Pratt. Oh, boy, that was pretty. Step back jumper for Markia Pratt. Gets the Bombers back within 4, 46-42. That last bucket from Markayla Johnson, by the way, gives her 20 in this game. Here's Owens down the lane, kick it out to Braxton. She'll fire. This is a long 2. Front of the rim, just can't quite get the roll. 2 bodies go flying in the backcourt, no call. Continuing with the theme of this game, physicality. Markia Pratt will put on the floor from Midwest City. All the way to the rim, right-hand floater, no. Rebound, Douglas. Stick back, yes. 1-score game again at the LNC. Deanna Douglas is just battling, has both nostrils plugged up because of blood. Was telling her side like she's having a problem breathing with the stuffed nose, but just battling anyway. Pull-up jumper's good for Johnson Cooper. Huge shot right there for the Hornets to go back out by 2 scores. 2 minutes left.
Booker T just looks fresh.
Yeah, they do. They don't look gassed at all. On Midwest City, it feels like they're just battling to the bitter end. Douglas falls down, frustrated at the lack of a call. Meanwhile, Landon's going to drive, and she's hit and fouled. So free throws coming for Landon.
Well, it's only 4 team fouls. I don't know if it's the act of shooting.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. My apologies. I was thinking that they were
Might
in the
be the
bonus.
act of shooting. Nope, it's not.
Yeah, I was thinking they were in the bonus already. That's only the 4th on Booker T. Midwest City hoping to get in the act, but don't think it's going to happen.
Well, that's great if you're going to make it.
Not getting it anyway. 1:48 to go. It'll be a out of bounds from the baseline. Martin gives it to Landon, gives it right back to her. Martin to the rim.
Nice
Tough finish.
move.
Sierra Martin battles her way to the rim. It's a 2-point game. Full timeout taken by Midwest City in this just absolute war of a game. 1:43 to go. We'll take a timeout with them. 2-point lead for the Hornets on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Red Plains Plumbing has been offering reliable commercial and residential services to the OKC metro area for over a decade. From new construction and remodeling to residential repair, they can handle jobs of all sizes. When you need a trusted name in plumbing, it's Red Plains Plumbing. Family owned and operated. Phone 405-769-1922. That's 405-769-1922.
All right, back to the Lloyd Noble Center. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray, 48-46 lead for Booker T. Washington. And they'll have the ball with 1:43 to go. Both teams are in the bonus. Booker T has the arrow. Hornets also have the benefit of several timeouts to kind of work with here. They have 3. Midwest City only has 1. Keep that in mind as you move into the back late stages of this one. Markayla Johnson crosses half court. She's been the go-to guy for for Booker T, in this game. 20 points tonight, leading the way. She's guarded by Sierra Martin, who's guarding her close. Johnson tries to get around her. 5-second call was getting close. Now she gets around her again, slows up. Martin tried to poke it away. 1:10 to go. Oh, boy, she got close to the half-court line, and Martin's going to go ahead and foul her. And now Johnson will shoot 2 with 1:08 to go.
If you don't want to foul in that situation, I'm not sure if Mississippi wanted to yet, then you can trap or try to find somebody to get the ball out of Johnson's hands.
So 2 free throws coming from Markayla Johnson that are large. You hit them both, you make it a 2-score game. First one from Markayla Johnson rolls off. Big miss. These teams have both shot the free throw pretty well in this game. Both a high percentage. Booker T 11 for 16, Midwest City 10 for 16. Johnson does hit the second one, so it's a 3-point game. And now Booker T Washington wants to take their first timeout, or their full timeout, I should say. And we'll still have 2 remaining. We're going to take it 2, 1:08 to go. Booker T by 3 on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Experience the best wash in town at Tommy's Express. You'll love our open and bright tunnels, easy loading flat belt conveyor, unlimited membership, and free vacuums and mat washers. Experience the difference and visit Tommy's Express today.
All right, back to the Lloyd Noble Center. Josh Calloway, Jordan Ray. Jordan, 1:08 to go. It's a 3-point lead. How do you approach this possession for Midwest City? Are you going to the rim hard? Are you trying to get a good look at a 3, trying to tie it? Where are you at?
I definitely don't try to tie it here. I try to.
Too much time.
Find Douglas inside again, or maybe Sierra Martin, because she had a really good post move. Underused in the post. But just try to, or Marquia Pratt, find someone who can get to the basket
Here's Douglas with the ball, driving down the baseline.
That's what they
she's
do.
hitting foul. There you go. So in just 8 seconds, all they used, Douglas is fouled, and she'll get 2 very big free throws. You got to hit them, like we said. Getting to the line is great, but if you don't make them, it doesn't do a lot for you.
You like what Douglas did there if she can make these.
Yeah. So Douglas will go to the line with exactly 60 seconds to play in this 5A state quarterfinal. She hits the first. 2-point game. Second one on the way for Deanna Douglas. Rolls off. So 1 for 2 trip. Rebound, Markayla Johnson, who continues to have a huge night. 21 points, now 9 rebounds. And Douglas is going to go ahead and foul her. It's probably not who you want to commit that foul. That's 4 now on Deanna Douglas. This thing goes to overtime. That could be a major factor. Might be a factor now, but. So Markayla Johnson goes to the line and will shoot 2 with 52.3 seconds to go. First one from Markayla Johnson. Got it. Talked about it a lot last year. We talked about it a lot today. And these big state tournament games, just who holds their composure makes their free throws sometimes the difference. As Johnson does miss the second, so a split trip there. Stays a one-score game, 50-47. Sierra Martin gives up to Gaddis. Gaddis underneath to Deanna Douglas. Douglas hard to the rim, banked it home through some contact. Was hoping for the foul, but Douglas finishes strong. And now we have another injury, as this is going to be Booker T. Washington again, as Johnson Cooper got popped in the face, I think. She's on her feet quickly.
It's going to give Mill City a chance to set up what they want to do on defense. They only have 1 timeout. For a second, I thought they were going to call it. And Coach Malloy wisely, I think, is not going to use that timeout. Mill City can now set up in a press.
Getting up the floor here is Owens, getting across half court through the pressure. As we get to the final 31 seconds, now here's another foul that'll send Tierra Owens to the line to shoot 2.
It's on Landon. She hasn't fouled much. Yeah, only her second, so that's a good player there to foul with.
First free throw, no good for Tierra Owens.
Bombers going to have a chance to tie or lead with a basket if they get the possession.
Second one will roll home. It's a 2-point game, 51-49, 30 seconds to play here at the Lloyd Noble Center. Where do you go when you need a bucket? Markia Pratt at the top of the key. She'll drive down the lane. Pratt to the rim. Side of the rim, no good. Rebound loose. Scooped up by Johnson. She's fouled by Martin with 17.8.
You couldn't ask for much better from Markia Pratt other than to finish.
That's 5 fouls of Sarah Martin, so she'll be fouling out of this game. The senior hoping that she's not leaving the floor for the last time as a Bomber.
Well, think about, for Mill City, some of the missed free throws. Booker T missed one as well. Think about some of the defensive mistakes.
Yeah.
The buzzer beater Booker T had in the third quarter could have been avoided if he just put some pressure on the ball.
First free throw good for Johnson. Makes it a 3-point lead. Markayla Johnson, 23 points. You make this one, you gave yourself a 2-score lead. Makes things a whole lot tougher for Midwest City. Still got time to make it happen, but a lot tougher. Second one, good. 4-point lead for the Hornets. Bombers got to go. They got to go quick. Gaddis gets down the court, crossing half court. She'll go all the way to the rim. Gaddis scoop layup attempt up off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound Johnson. She's fouled with 7.6 seconds to go. And Booker T. Washington is close to sealing the deal at the LNC and setting up a matchup with Sapulpa tomorrow in an all-Tulsa affair if we can get there.
Again,
wow.
I think it's a big part of this is you're frustrated all game, and it makes the simple things harder. And that was a simple layup there. It wasn't a super easy layup, I should say, for Gaddis, but an extremely makeable one. And it just rims off.
Johnson first free throw up and good. Gives her now 25 points. She's been just dynamite in this game. and a major, major reason why Booker T looks like they're going to move on to the semifinals. Second one also good. 6-point lead for the Hornets. Pratt will race down the floor for the Bombers. She'll take it to the rim. Right-hand shot. Tried to bank it home. No good. Rebound is loose. And that's the end of the ball game as the Booker T. Washington Lady Hornets win just a heavyweight knockout fight at the LNC, as this game was just rough, injuries everywhere. But a war of a game, and in the end, Booker T. Washington wins at 55-49. This is going to be a tough one, obviously, Jordan, for Midwest City, this team that had such a phenomenal season, 23-3. Some really good seniors that'll be moving on. Tough one to stomach, obviously, here.
Yeah,
Booker T. Washington moves on.
It's not one of their worst games. It's right up there with 2 or 3 where Midwest City just made some mistakes that were avoidable, and I think they got really frustrated with the fact that usually when players get frustrated with the refs, it's for fouls that are called, not fouls that aren't. But for tonight, it was fouls that were not called, and I think that frustration plus maybe some fatigue for some other reasons. Just they were the slower team. They were not the fresher team in the second half. And, just a disappointing performance.
Yeah.
Tough end to a great season. They had a great season, undefeated district play. You know, they won area for the first time since 2015. Hoping to win their first game in the state tournament since 2016 because they got to state by losing the regional championship that year. Came back and won the area constellation and then won the state title. Still chasing that. And unfortunately, their outlook for next year not quite as great. For one thing, when it comes to Midwest City, we have to mention that you never know if they're going to be in 6A or 5A. It's been rotating year by year lately.
Right.
But also a lot of seniors. And the 4 that started, really good players. They will be missed. They got some good young talented players, and along with Marquia Pratt, Seven Miller will be back. Sadie Johnson. But they're going to need some more. Some players going to have to step up, and I don't know, next year will kind of, at this point, seems like more of a reload. Maybe not a rebuild, but a reload. Hard to see them being as competitive as they were this year.
So, our Eastside Church of Christ player of the game, you're going to go down to Douglas for this. 15 points, 5 of 10 shooting, also had 9 boards. Just took an absolute beating. She had to leave the court with blood on her face twice and just kept gutting it out. I mean, just warrior stuff. Eastside Church of Christ player of the game. She absolutely deserves it. Senior who had a great career. Not where she wanted to end it, but she left it all out there in this game tonight. Very similar to what we said about Aja Moore earlier, leaving it all out there. That was Diana Douglas in this game. She goes for 15. She's our Eastside Church of Christ player of the game. The Eastside Church of Christ in Midwest City believes in loving Jesus by loving their neighbors. They invite you to join them Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. for Bible class with song and praise beginning at 10 a.m. If you can't make a Sunday morning, or invite to study with them at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. Check out their live and recorded streams on YouTube and find more information on their website at eastsidechurchofchrist.info. The Eastside Church of Christ at 916 South Douglas Boulevard in Midwest City. Elsewhere from Midwest City, kind of wrapping up this game a little bit, Sierra Martin had 11, played very well in her final game. 7 from Marquia Pratt, 6 from Salila Landon, 4 from Sinai Gaddis. Booker T. Washington, it was all about Markayla Johnson. She was phenomenal. 26 points, 13 from Sierra Owens. Johnson also had a double-double with 11 rebounds. She was fantastic. And Booker T moves on. They will see Sapulpa tomorrow in the semifinals. As for us, we got one more. Del City, El Reno, coming up in about 10, 11, 12 minutes or so from now. So we'll take a timeout. We'll rejoin you in about 10 minutes over there for our final game of the day, Del City, El Reno. We hope you join us for that one. We'll be back, Game 6 on OSN, coming up next on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.